I was preparing for a board meeting. I had actually shipped my budget for the next fiscal year, the requests of the projections of the growth that we were going to have and the resources we wanted to allocate so we could show up in more communities, accompanying people for improved outcomes, greater amounts of freedom and protection from violence. But from the time that I sent the documents to when the board actually met, it was a couple of weeks in between. In that period of time, I had actually traveled to Southeast Asia and was confronted with some pretty horrific realities there of children being exploited. So I returned back to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The board was gathering, and as was custom, the night before the board meetings, the board chair and the vice chair spent some time to just go over the agenda, over the meeting with me. And they gave me a real caution, saying, look, the budget that was prepared was ambitious, perhaps even audacious, but it was sound 2 weeks ago when you shipped it. But in the last 2 days, everything has changed. And if you proceed tomorrow to ask for this budget to be approved, you're going to be seen as disconnected from reality. And it might impact your credibility, but you're likely not going to get the outcome that you would desire. I listened, we interacted on that matter and others, and I remember going back to my hotel room and just reflecting on this. Spent some time just in prayer and thinking about what should I do. The next morning I woke up, and when the time came to present the budget, I outlined the sober reflection that had come my way and that the realities had changed from when I had prepared the budget. But I went on to say, even though it would be perhaps prudent to dial back our expectations, it would not allow me to sleep very well at night, knowing that, yes, this economic storm was impacting our donors and was very likely going to impact the whole sector. But the storm of what I saw being unleashed on these kids was not going to get better. In fact, if funding was being pulled from us, it would likely be pulled from many other places, and their plight would be more ominous. So respectfully, I acknowledged the realities, but brought together these two competing storm fronts and said to the board, I would respectfully request that we approve this budget, that we put in place some mechanisms to stage gate this if we don't hit certain targets along the way, but that we needed to give it our level best to go after the resources so that we could show up for these children who were being trafficked and exploited and abused. And the board deliberated on it. They looked at it from various perspectives. And at the end of the discussion and deliberation, they unanimously authorized the budget to be approved as it was presented. And amazingly, over the course of the next 2 years, we as an organization experienced some of our most dramatic growth in the 12 years of my existence with the organization, seeing somewhere in the neighborhood of 88% revenue growth that year, the heels of 2008, and the following of 82% revenue growth, which gave us the resources so we could show up for more children around the world. Was it the right decision? I think so. But we didn't know at the time. But it was right not because of the lay of the land, but it was right because our principles and our mission, our vision, our values indicated to us that we needed to put our utmost effort into raising the resources and rallying